was a rough weekend. That's why this is late. Yeah, I had to do a lot of work around here when the weather permitted it, and moving a lot of dirt and mulch and doing shit, and then still dealing with dogs. I got to take Blanca to the vet at 3:30 today because her eye is all bloodshot. It fucking never ends here. Boots, I had to do something about her because she wasn't pooping right. So, like I said, it never ends here, but anyway. I don't know if I ever told the Cutthroats 9 story on camera before. If I have, forgive me because you're going to fucking hear it again because I really didn't watch too much other shit. Except I did see Sabu's final match. It's on YouTube against Joey Janela. It was fucked up, it was brutal, and it was probably the way he wanted to go out because, let's face it, Sabu invented most of the shit that's going on today. The tables, the barbed wire, all that shit. He was the one who started the shit in Japan, and everybody copied him. 60 years old, I just hope he's healthy enough to enjoy his retirement. Anyway, on to the Cutthroats 9, 1972. I never went to see this movie, actually. It was playing with something that I wanted to see, and for the life of me, years later, I cannot remember, nor can I find an ad with that movie with Cutthroats 9 as the co-feature. But anyway, I was over in New York at Club 44, and it was around 10 o'clock, and I was going to go to the movies and see this. But Lisa, my barmaid friend, wanted me to hang around because she had no help and I needed incentive. And free beer was incentive, with the promise that we'd go see the fucking movie after we shut down. Well, from 10 until closing, which was 4, I was slurping down beers and sneaking outside to smoke the occasional joint. So by closing time, I was pretty fucked up, and she didn't want to go see the movie. She wanted to go to this after-hours joint. So we go to this after-hours joint. She's pounding down shots of tequila. And I'm still drinking. So then we want to go get some breakfast. We're going for breakfast. It's about 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock in the morning. We're going to go for breakfast now. So she's eating a nice big greasy breakfast of home fries and scrambled eggs and bacon and shit. So then we go home, or back to her place, the apartment that she shares with Candy. And now she's in the bathroom talking to God on the porcelain telephone. I'm holding her head. She's puking her brains out. I'm ready to puke. Candy comes in. Candy takes one look at me, one look at her, and goes, "Dude, you better hit the road before the road hits you." All right, so it's about, I don't know. Shit, I'm trying to think. Well, anyway, I go to Port Authority and get on the wrong fucking bus. And I wind up on Central Avenue in East Orange in close proximity of an old grindhouse called the Hollywood Theater. And lo and behold, the Hollywood Theater is playing the double bill with the first feature I wanted to see. Okay, so I buy a ticket, I go in, I sit down, I pass out. Now this is in the winter, and you got to realize that these theaters are not conducive to heat, or air conditioning for that matter. So I'm passed out. I wake up as the end credits to whatever is rolling and Cutthroats 9 starts. Well, I would have left except that basically I was still fucked up, still out of it, my legs didn't work. So I'm sitting there watching this thing unfold. And this was sort of a, I know that the co-feature, the main feature was a horror movie, and this was supposed to be a horror movie, and they were giving out terror masks and shit like that. It was directed by Joachim Merchant, who I think he did Slugs, and also did a couple other spaghetti westerns in the early days. And the main star is Robert Hundar, who people would recognize from spaghetti westerns like Sabata and Shanghai Joe. He's a hawk-faced guy, real name Claudio Uldari, and he's the star along with Emma Cohen. The other guys are sort of recognizable, but not that good. And they're all killers. And the thing is, they're leaving a chain gang and a mine, and it's got a military escort, and they're held up by a bunch of scruffy bandits who are really pissed off that basically there's no gold, and proceed to cave one soldier's in, cut one soldier's throat, and set the horses on a stampede, which causes the carriage to crash. So one of the prisoners has a broken leg, and of course Sergeant Brown, Hundar, is going to force them to march the 400 miles to wherever the fuck they're going, Fort Bravo or something. So while they're marching, they make up cute little songs singing that how they're going to kill Sergeant Brown sooner or later down the line. And then they decide that during the night they kill the guy with the broken leg because they're supposed to carry him. Well, Sergeant Brown is a little pissed off, but ain't gonna unhook them. So that night they have a fucking bonfire with the corpse, and of course it's charred, ugly, and they have to cut it loose. One guy says he's not gonna march any further. You can kill me, I don't care. So Brown shoots his eye out of his head. There's a lot of gore in this thing for some reason, a lot of gore. Eventually, they get the upper hand on Brown, rape his daughter in front of him, hang him from the rafters, and basically set the building on fire. A few other cutthroats get killed on the way. The one who initiated the rape gets strangled by a guy. There's a flashback to Brown's wife who's getting disemboweled by an unseen killer. It just keeps getting weirder and weirder, and the thing is that it's basically snowing and nasty the whole time this movie's going on, and there's this music playing, and I know it's been taken out of the, this restored version here, that they cleaned it up, but sometimes the music hits this screeching crescendo, which is loud as shit and doesn't make any sense. And also the dubbing's pretty horrible because after the one guy's killed, they have an argument, and the argument's in almost a monotone. And if you haven't heard an argument in a monotone, you don't know what you're missing. But I think that's been cleared out too. So anyway, they arrive at the trading post of a guy named Caldwell, who they have history with. And they are plotting a whole bunch of shit, but one of them hangs up Caldwell and proceeds to disembowel him. And during that scene, a wino that was like 3 rows behind me decided to wake up and mutter, "Look at all them guts hanging out," and then goes back to sleep. So anyway, the daughter, Emma Cohen, finds a stick of dynamite and lights it and blows them all up, ending her torment and ours for sitting through this thing. And like I said, sitting through this thing, like the theaters radiate cold, I still couldn't feel my legs, but basically, still to this day, do not know what movie I actually went to see, and went home and went to sleep, and how many fucking millions of years later, I still don't remember what movie I went to see. Is the Cutthroats 9 a good movie? It's interesting. It's a gore film masquerading as a Western. There isn't a lot of action. There's a lot of killing. There's not a lot of shooting and shit like that. There's some really diabolical shit going on here. Would I recommend it to see? Yeah, I would. Frank Henenlotter in the documentary 42nd Street Memories claims it was playing every other week on 42nd Street. I'm not going to dispute Frank because he was there a lot more than I was, but I don't recall it playing anywhere after I'd seen it originally. And it went into some shitty VHS tape, and then basically I think the first guys that restored it were the guys that eventually became Wild East. So anyway, I don't even put this one out here. Code Red put this out, and they're no longer in business. So anyway, that's our show for today. Thanks for subscribing. Thanks for tuning in. I will let you know how Blanca makes out at the vet, and hopefully things will be okay. So until next time, we'll catch you on the flip side, and above all, stay safe.